All right, we're on.
Okay, welcome, guys.
Hi guys.
Let's jump.
All right,
This
who?
episode, we're gonna talk about a short intro to depression, a short to depression, and everything that we can relate to, and hopefully, yeah, get on
Okay.
to some topics or actually a broader view or perspective on what depression actually is and what it means to each of us.
By the way, we are not experts. We keep saying that. These are just personal experiences or opinions or just simple facts that we have collected throughout the time. Throughout time, right? Um, this is not what you call it, again, like rehearsed or anything like that. We just doing this on the fly and making something out of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so when we talk about depression, what are you talking about? Like, what does depression mean to you?
Well, actually, for me, it's a form of or a state of mind. I would only agree a state of mind where everything seems bleak, seems like very negative, or you cannot really get into a positive state of being.
Is
And
this just a mental state, or is it like more than that, like genetic, or like?
well, it can start at like a body state, like if you are injured, for example, and you have to stay in bed or you cannot move or you're sick. You can actually develop it like mentally as
You
well.
you saying it's triggered? It's something that you have
Can be
within, but it's
triggered,
triggered. Okay.
yeah. But in order to call it really a depression, it would need to last longer than a few days, a couple of days, because a couple of days you can feel down, but for a longer period of time, it really tends to, yeah,
I feel like to actually be like depression, it has to last like way more than 2 weeks, I guess.
yeah, I
Not
think,
not 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 that there's a time limit because we are different and you know but what I'm trying to say is like something that sticks around, I think would be the definition to
yeah.
depression. It sticks around, right? uh Ed, have you ever been depressed, man?
See, you guys say like a time thing. I never. I mean, I personally never thought of that. I mean, I thought like you could have like a bad day and you can be depressed, or maybe
Yeah,
like
it's also a
I,
feeling. You
I,
can,
I I
I think,
just don't think one day
yeah,
defines your
no, but
depression. You know what I mean?
you can feel depressed,
yeah.
Yeah.
or you can be depressed for a longer period of
So
time.
you're talking about like a clinical definition, kind of like actually being like
No,
diagnosed with depression, something like that.
I don't know because when is it sadness? When is it simply just being sad or having a bad day or odd day, off day? We all have those, right? But what I think is just is something like I said that sticks around because there's no way around it. You're gonna have good and bad days, right?
Yeah.
That's not depression. That's just a bad day or a sad day or usually when you have a bad day or sad day is something like I said that triggers it and you can justify it. Okay, the way I feel is attached to this, but like I think depression is not something you can easily define. Like, oh, I'm depressed because of this, and actually be accurate. I think as it might be an accumulation of emotions that are not attended to or something. You know what I mean? Like when you start getting overwhelmed with all these emotions that are not being taken care of or sectioned like mentally. I think that weight that you start feeling as that depression. I think depression builds over time. No,
And
and
yeah, I think it has to do with the things that we do not pay attention to in terms of our emotional states,
Mm-hmm.
and if we don't pay attention to how we feel, what we need, and what we uh, yeah what we need to get actually out of that state of mind, then that thing or that can withhold us from feeling like happy or feeling less depressed or
Yeah.
staying. Yeah,
How about a chemical imbalance? Like, your body creates chemicals, but not everybody creates, the amount, let's say, for example, not just the amounts, but the chemicals that your body actually needs to keep homeostasis. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. There's something here in the Netherlands. It's very quite common under the yeah people with a darker skin color. Is that in the winter months, people don't see sunlight, and we need sunlight to actually produce vitamin D, or actually to have that feeling of happiness. And it affects more people of color because we not that we need more sun, but we are more in tune to the getting the vitamin D or absorbing the vitamin D through our skin, which is actually, we call it a winter depression when you don't take the vitamin Ds and or supplements for vitamin Ds. Uh, that actually, yeah, I'm getting lost. But if you
I
don't
I
take vitamin D, it basically affects your mood in the winter months, and
I I,
yeah.
I
I
started
know
supplementing
exactly what you're
vitamin D.
referring to, because I go through that every year. Actually, what you said, Ed?
I just started getting some vitamin D supplements. Just got some a couple months ago.
Hmm.
What you got?
Some gummies. I just be eating them like they candy. That's all.
Yeah, because you pee out
Yeah,
the
I was about to say you just pee it out. If your body doesn't need it, it just doesn't hold on to it. So nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Um, well, that's
did
actually
you did
cool.
you notice any
Ed,
difference to your mood or state or state of mind?
Honestly, man, like to me, it's like being physically active. I mean, I can feel like and like kind of down or whatever, but just go for a run. You know what I mean? Stay active. I mean, and that's what keeps my mood up.
hmm.
Just
But
go
if
outside.
so,
It doesn't have to be a whole bunch of sun. You know what I mean? Like if I went outside and it was the middle of winter, it's still you're going outside, you're getting fresh air, you're getting active. That's all you need.
And you're getting
yeah, but
sunlight,
not,
even
Yeah.
though you don't see it.
yeah. But not everybody. I don't think that's enough just for everybody. You know what I mean? Um, but before I get too distracted, I asked you a question earlier, Ed. Have you ever been depressed? You feel like you ever been
Well,
depressed?
I would have said yeah, but then you guys said you put a timer on it. You said, well, it's got to be ongoing and for weeks or
You
whatever.
can't tell me you was depressed for like 2 days. I was depressed for two
I
days.
would have said yeah, but you said that doesn't count. So okay, like it doesn't count.
No. Does it. I just gave an opinion. It's not like I went out there and I studied this or anything like that. It's not like I these are my
I'm
findings
like,
or
if you
anything.
don't classify it as depression since it didn't last long enough, I'm like, okay, maybe about a
No,
day,
no.
but
So tell me about your story. It's still
it's
valid.
not. It's not a story. It's just
That's
like
not what I.
sometimes you're just
Feel-
not on
How
top of
long
your.
you felt depressed?
Dude, not even that. Maybe like a day that I'm like, hey, it's time to get up, time to move, time to do something. What projects am I working on? Get active, and that's it, man. That's it. It changes.
Okay.
It just turns
May,
it around, just like that.
maybe I should have said deep depression. I
Okay,
don't
it
know.
will be deep depression if you don't do what you're supposed to do. Like, let's say if I never started working out, I never got into that habit, then it would keep going on and on and on. Maybe I didn't have, like, other creative outlets. You know what I'm saying? I never
Mm,
had any of that stuff. Then we can probably get into something that would just keep progressing and getting worse and worse and worse. But I kind
okay.
of.
And
Yeah.
To you, is this a chemical imbalance, or what caused
I've
depression in
heard
people?
people have chemical imbalances. To me, it's just it's your body or whatever, or just something in you telling you that what you're doing isn't the right thing, and trying to set you on the right path. I don't know.
That is a very valid point, because regardless of what, your body always looks for the right thing, right? Okay, like this is not what you need right now. You should be doing this. You should be eating this. That's why we had
Yeah.
cravings, and that's why you know medication does work, right?
I've
Because
had times where it's like I'm
basically,
feeling really tired, don't feel like doing nothing, feeling down, had a really like kind of a bad mood. Just go for like a 3 mile run. Boom. Like I just took a hit or something. Like my mood just like totally flipped.
okay,
Like
that's
now
amazing,
I'm on top
actually.
of my game now, just like that. It's weird.
Wow. So you never fell. You never feel like you felt, and you had to catch yourself like way after or anything like that. Like
Like what do you mean? Like really like deep depression or just what do you mean catch yourself?
no, not necessarily deep depression, but like something that lasted more than one day, and you like,
No
okay,
man.
what is this? Why
Well,
why I
I tell
can't
you like
change my
this.
mood?
One of the things I started doing is eating better, drinking water, being active. I've been overweight most of my life, but if I never would have made that switch and started taking better care of myself and being active, then yeah, I probably would be someone who's like depressed and down and just
Mhm.
like
But
it probably would have
isn't
But
happened.
that a
when you
matter
say, yeah,
Or
of
what?
perspective? Like, isn't that like very defined by who you are? That
No,
type of
I'm not.
depression
I'm
is
not
like,
saying that covers everybody, but I think a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
people. I think a lot of people that if they would just be healthier, more active people, that would take care of a lot of it. I'm not saying not everybody,
Yeah.
but I think a
Of
lot.
course, being in shape and being active makes you more confident.
It's not just
Uh, uh,
that.
uh,
Like a lot of people say, like working out is not just physical. That's mental health. Like is it's mental too.
yeah. But
Absolutely, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
you said you were overweight before, or you were
Yeah, most of my life I was overweight.
really?
I was up to like 250, but that was like
Oh,
250, like just all fat. Just I couldn't see my feet. That's how fat, that's how fat I
how
was.
old were you when
Bro,
you?
I'm 250 right now. What you trying to say?
But I'm only 5'10". So imagine me being 5'10" and being as heavy as you. You know what I mean? Like I'm a little shorter than you. So yeah, I was really big. And like most of you, you're like muscle. You know what I mean? You're like just naturally muscular kind of. But
I
me,
say I'm muscle.
you are. I mean,
I,
you
bro,
got
I see
fat on you,
myself
but I
naked
mean, you
every
can
day,
tell
man.
you're kind of muscular, like naturally, even
I
without working
You're
out. Me,
you're
I'm
bulky.
not.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I'm being funny though. But I'm the one that has to deal with freaking seeing myself naked over here. I want to work on my belly though. But
Dude,
yeah,
I
I
told
do
you
understand.
keep drinking that sugar water you drink all day, but you won't stop it.
You know what? You know what's crazy? I know people think that, but I don't drink soda or juice like that.
Oh my god, dude! Every
Um,
time I see you, you got juice in your hand, man. Every time, got juice in
no,
your hand.
I don't. No, no, no. I drink Sprite when I go on break,
Okay.
but I only take one break, and I don't buy soda for my house for that same reason. But asking again, I drink water all day, every day. It's just, but here in Niagara Falls, it's not like a thing. Everybody has the money to drink soda and stuff like that, but in Dominican Republic, we don't do that. We don't drink soda all day. We really don't do none of that. So I don't have the habit of picking up a soda every time I drink something or anything like that. I am fat because, well, I'm overweight because I do munch a lot. Like I eat a lot of stuff, um, a lot of sweets and stuff like that. And I also eat emotionally. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So I think that's part of my experience with depression. Sometimes I feel lonely and I'll sit down by myself and I'll start eating, and sometimes I don't even realize it. You know what I mean? Um,
it's like a
and
coping
it's
mechanism too. Yeah,
yeah, and it's something I believe I know exactly when I developed this,
Mhm.
and it's something when I think about it, when I have the time to actually think about it, I can stop myself. But if I'm just like letting myself go and too busy mentally, I find myself doing it again. And that's why I'm always up and down and weight. Like right now, I just lost like freaking 6, 8 pounds, something like that. But I never stay down, to be honest with you. Um, you remember the guy and I was super skinny, but that's for a different reason, I guess.
Yeah. No,
But
that reminds me of me because actually when I get like stress or in situations that I just need to escape, I don't eat anything at all. I just starve, yeah, literally starve myself, and that's my coping mechanism. Like trying to, yeah, I just hunker down. Like the way I feel in a sense, the only control I got is over my own body, and that's where I like, yeah, that's my coping mechanism for dealing with a
so,
negative state of mind or a state of mind where I cannot. Uh,
so you like being in control?
in a sense, yes, I think everybody does in to a certain extent.
Okay. Yeah,
But
yeah.
for me, I think the actually lack of a certain structure or control or certain structure indeed and healthy boundaries had me like the only thing that I could control was the fact that if I don't want to eat, I'm not gonna eat. If I yeah, that was the only thing I could control. I yeah, that's
Have you ever been depressed?
I
I
have
mean,
to
to your knowledge, at least.
yes, I have to say yes, and for prolonged period of time. Uh,
What's the longest you think?
I think over 2 years is the longest
Okay.
way I've been
What
depressed.
you know what's crazy though? So I a few months ago I ran into this study about depression, right?
Yeah,
And it was saying that depression sometimes lasts for years, right? And people don't realize it's the same depression. The thing is that it goes up and down.
it's not always, yeah.
Depression, a lot of times, it gives you like a little relief, and you think it's gone, but it's not really gone. It comes back, and it keeps coming back, and it's like when you let your guard down again, thinking like you got rid of it, it
It
sneaks
actually,
up on you again.
yeah,
Can be triggered by anything. It could be like sometimes when you are depressed and you have a bad day, you think it's a bad day. It's just you being depressed and making everything blue around you, if that makes sense.
yeah. That
Just,
just another lemon tree. That's a song.
yeah. Well, yeah. And also in the study, um, it said that, well, now guys are opening up to it a lot, but it actually said that men suffer from depression way more than women. They just don't say anything, and that basically like kills you. Like that deteriorates you, makes you mentally ill. Sometimes gives you it even causes like Alzheimer's or something like that.
I don't believe that. I'm sorry.
Well, it's
I
not
You're-
my study. It's something
yeah,
I came
don't know
you.
across.
about that study.
It's because you're locking yourself up in a certain state where you are actually depriving yourself from. Uh, for me, then it is uh, that I have deprived myself from actually going outside. I have like COVID was for me in a sense a way to escape the routine and the social uh, expectation that people had of me. But in the same sense, it also allowed me to yeah take a look inward and what do I need as a person to actually yeah be able to now say I have um, looked at myself and looked at myself in the mirror and checked out what I needed before now, that I now can say I am better at choosing when I am able to commit to certain social interactions and when I just need my space or need my time for me to focus on myself or to just have some me time. And I think that's what we tend to forget, that we that I have forgotten along the time or long period, that I was a very externally focused on others and trying to indeed control a situation, control the outcome, control be having everything jolly and happy, and not talk about the white elephant in the room or the issues that might play in the room, but just being trying to capture happy moments and staying in those happy moments. But in the
Okay.
inside, I was actually not happy with myself, and I was just not allowing myself to
Okay.
take a look into it.
Wait, real quick, because I known you for so long. Um, is this something that's been happening since you was little?
I would
Like,
say yes, but I didn't really
like
recognize it or
perceive it
define it.
as that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think I understand because like I used to look at you and wonder. So I think it's something old for you. But like then I saw you happy when you played football. I saw you being happy when you rode your four wheelers and stuff like that. Is that usually how you still cope with things, like doing activities like that? Just
Exactly, like Ed says, if you sport, if you work out, if you do something active, you actually do something, you go outside, you do something for yourself, with yourself, that unlocks a certain, also in your brain, a certain sense of being stuck, or but actually the
mm,
activity of doing something helps you to, yeah, to move on from a certain, yeah, state of mind or depressive state, if I want to.
okay. How about medication? Have you ever been medicated for the way you feel?
Never antidepressive or nothing like that.
Okay.
Never.
All right. How about uh Ed, have you ever well you never been sad like that. I guess you
Not
wouldn't see the
ongoing,
need.
like not like constant and
Yeah,
persistent. No.
so I'm guessing you would never seek help for something that doesn't actually last that long, right? I mean, as I said before, it could be part of the same wave. It's just comes and go, right? And for you, it does not. You do a good job at fighting it. Well, you know what's crazy? Like during these activities, it's actually known, right? That during these activities, your body releases chemicals, endorphins, and stuff like that. So
So,
it's like basically your body is self medicating itself to an extent. Of course, you cannot create an exaggerated amount or anything like that. Like your body is not a super machine or well, it is actually in essence it is.
but
But what I'm saying is like it's not a factory for creating a certain thing. It's so busy doing so many other things.
yeah, something out of nothing. It has a certain limit in amount.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't that amazing, man? Like I'm just to me it's amazing actually.
It is to me as well.
Um. Okay.
How long have you been
So
going, if I may ask?
I'm sorry.
How long have we been going at it?
24 sec. I mean
Oh,
24 minutes.
Okay. I'm sorry.
okay.
Sorry.
Ed,
What? What's up?
you are physically strong. I see you, fit and everything. If you needed it, will you feel comfortable with saying, "Hey, you know what? I have an issue. I need to seek help."
No, I would try and play it tough.
I think you're not playing.
No,
Are
I'm
you
not.
are you
I'm
serious?
not playing. Like
It's
really,
serious.
really, most people
And
like you would feel ashamed. You would feel like I'm tough. Like I can do this. Like you don't want to talk to nobody. Like that's how you would feel.
Go ask for help, man.
I'm pretty sure a
but
lot
why
of
not ask for help if you realize that like not I don't want to say that something is bigger than you because I don't think anything is bigger than you. Okay, it's just you need the right channels to actually take care of certain things. Does that make sense? Therefore, like when somebody you go to a psychiatrist or anything like that, they show you different outlets or different points of view that help you
Yeah,
get there, right?
yeah.
like actually crying is also a form of relief of releasing negative emotion or depressive states of
Well,
mind.
yes, because uh, it's two things. You release again these chemicals, plus you are releasing yourself that
You're allowing yourself
mental
blockage.
package. Yeah, yeah. There you go. Yeah. So it's like your body is heavily working on you when you just let go and cry, man.
When is the
Uh,
last time you cried, Dito?
when was the last time I cried?
Yeah.
About 4 days ago. But I didn't cry how you would think I was crying. I just hold it back. No, no, not like that.
Okay.
You know what?
Huh?
Um, the last time I cried like that was like 2 years when no, a year and a half, almost 2 years, when one of my friends died of COVID, and well, one of my friends died in a four-wheeler accident. He got ran over,
Did they
and
say it was COVID? Anyways.
and then the other person died of COVID. That's what they said. She died of COVID. Respiratory issues. She basically suffocated herself until she passed away.
What?
She she had like
Like a heavy dose of pneumonia.
Yeah.
yes, there you go.
I used to get that a lot back in the day, man. That is like the worst feeling ever, man.
Yeah, imagine that.
Huh.
Imagine that's how you go out, man.
Mm.
Ed,
Ed,
when was the last time you cried, bro?
When I was a little kid. Okay.
We're gonna cry together one of these days, okay?
when you were a little kid,
Yo,
how
yo,
old were you? Remember that?
he's really like that because I
Okay.
try to hug him and stuff like that, and I can he gets like tense and
Okay.
stuff,
The
man.
guy, if maybe some allergies or maybe something got stuck in my eye or something. Okay, like that's about it.
Uh-huh.
You
You
got mad.
cried. I don't want to say when, but I seen you cry.
No, you haven't.
Do you think
Yes,
it's healthy to cry, or is necessary to cry at times, or you're just not?
It's just no. It's just nah.
It's just
you know what? Like mentally, it doesn't solve anything. Like it doesn't take the problem away. It's just for yourself. That's for yourself. It's not for anything else. So I think it is a good idea to just cry and let go, man. It
some
is
people might
embarrassing
not
though.
need it.
You
That's also the case.
boogers coming down and stuff like that. Like it's embarrassing, man. But it feels so good afterwards, man. You know what? Who
I
was
wouldn't
the
know.
last before my friends passed away? The last person that saw me cry was your mom, Megan. She holds me like I was a baby. And she was like, "It's okay, no, it's okay." And I was like, "No." But I felt good afterwards, man. I remember I felt such a relief, and I wasn't tense anymore. I didn't feel like fighting no more. I didn't feel like I just wanted to sit down. It's like, wow. It was embarrassing, on that side, looking all weak and stuff like that. But I think the mentality of us having to look so tough at all times is ruining actual people mental state, in my opinion.
No,
No, no,
a man is supposed to be like that.
nah.
Yeah, he is. No, he is.
You're
For
going
Men's
real.
are
back.
I'm not
human
even
You're,
beings
joking.
you're
as
going
well.
back in time, man.
The man, your emotions got to be in check. They got to be in check. That's what needs
But
to
what
happen.
is in check? I mean, letting your emotions go is also having your emotions in check. Just that you
No, you can't let them go like that.
No, no,
not in
no,
front of
no, no, no.
everybody.
Hear him out. This is very good. Keep going, Nagayan.
When you have your safe space and your safe haven, and nobody's around you to judge you or to see you as weak,
Yeah.
then you're allowed to cry or to release that emotion of uh, or the feeling of wanting to cry. That's nothing weak about it. That's the new saying about it is that it's not weak to cry. It's weak to not cry, actually, to act tough.
Why were you act tough, Edward? Even when something hurts you,
Because
why do you act tough?
you're a man, and sometimes let's
So
say
so what
in
what
history,
does that imply?
like people will look up to the man to be a protector and to be a leader and to be someone who's always going to be stoic and strong. And if you're walking around here crying and all this, like people are gonna say, man, like man, the situation must be really bad. Like we was like looking to Angel to he had the answers. Like he was gonna protect us and look out for us. This dude's walking around here crying.
Okay,
Man,
what
like
if what okay, what if you looking for me for the answers, right?
yeah.
And I start crying, and then I get
Then
my
we
shit
all
together.
lose
And I'm
hope.
like,
We all
okay,
lose
let's
hope.
go. No, you don't lose hope. I still got the same solutions. I'm
I
still
think
the
Nah,
same
I think
person.
I would feel more connected with a leader that's in connection with their
I'd be
emotion.
like, look, this must be really bad. This dude over here crying. Like, what's going on
Look,
here?
okay,
Like
Look,
seriously, like
just
think about
just to,
military. Like you're like looking at a general and you're
but the
looking at
military
this
is
guy.
wrong. The military is asking you to put to the side your emotions,
You
okay?
have to.
And they want to brainwash you into a killing machine, which you are not. It goes against your nature, okay? We are sociable creatures. No, no,
Yes.
no, no. Listen, just listen. Okay, we are not built to be killing each other, to be tense all day. It kills us too. That's why you're not supposed to hate your enemies. That's why you're not supposed to be blind by anger or hatred,
Yeah, but all this is new. The
because
modern world you see
it
is new.
points
This is all new.
the modern
This
what is new?
this only been here for like 100 years or so. I'm talking about
What?
thousands, hundreds of thousands of years of human evolution. The man had to be strong. I'm sorry, guys. He
Yes,
actually
but
did.
okay. So
what
okay,
is wrong? That's the definition.
you think cavemen didn't go out there and kill a saber tooth and one of their kids died? Monkeys cry.
Yeah.
A gorilla is freaking
But if you're the
strong
leader,
as five guys.
if you're the leader and you're over here crying, like people looking at you like, yo, this dude is
Yeah,
weak.
but they're the degradations of crying. You can be
But
crying, be in a corner and not function anymore.
but
You can
but
cry and let out the emotion and like recover yourself, like Lito said, and produce a more touching uh, way of people coming into connection with you. Like, oh, really? He's in touch. Like a woman died in front of him, and he's like, shit, man,
there you
somebody
go.
died. I cry.
And what I
I
like,
release the emotion. Like that hits me. That hurts me. Like
yeah,
Mm.
it hurts me to see that as a man.
Okay, so let's say you are the leader of the group, right?
yeah,
And one of your group dies. You keep walking and show your group that you don't care. Like he fell, leave him. We
no,
good.
that's not saying I don't care. I mean, we do what we do. We pay our respects, and that's that. It's not saying you don't care,
No, you it's okay,
And what I
man.
was talking
You're
about
allowed to cry.
emotions is I once heard someone say I've heard many people say this that thugs are some of the most feminized men ever. Is thugs. These dudes who you think are tough, but they're feminine. They're feminine dudes, and the reason why they say these thugs are feminine is because they act on their emotions. like women. You look at them wrong, or do this, or say the wrong thing, and they're ready to get into their emotions and possibly kill you because
Okay.
they feel some type of way. And that's what I
Wow.
mean by
That
ultimately keeping your emotions in check. That's really what, because when a
okay.
man's emotions
Yeah,
is
yeah,
just
yeah.
being led by,
Emotion,
yeah.
intelligence. Okay,
And I've
okay.
seen
I
men
get it.
doing this. Like, I mean, like, I
That
remember there, I was at Tim Hortons. This crackhead was right in front of me, and this guy, dude, yo, they slow up here, and these motherfuckers. I'm looking just like, yo, like, what's going on with this guy? You know, and you
Check your
notice,
emotions.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can't. That's what I mean by you got to keep your emotions in check,
but if
especially
But
for
then,
men.
then I say as well,
but it's
we as
impossible.
a man or male, we
Yeah,
as males indeed have the masculine, but also our feminine side, and
you can't tap
we
into
can
that.
bring no.
Don't
Yeah,
call it the
that's the dark
don't
side.
even call it feminine side. Call it human side, okay? Because it's not a girl thing. We classify it.
It is
But
human.
okay,
Come on.
let me back up.
It's human to
First of all,
have yin and yang.
just absolutely. But let's just say this: the simple fact that you have an issue with others seeing you cry and you care about what somebody else thinks and feels about you
Yeah.
shows your emotions right there. Shows your weakness, how weak emotionally
No,
you are.
that's not what that is.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
that means you're aware of
So
the
you
entire
adjusting,
situation.
you
But
adjusting and getting rid of what works for you for to keep other people's perceptions strong about you.
Yes.
Like really, dude?
Yes.
Nah, man.
You said it yourself.
No,
You
no, no,
said
no.
it yourself.
It doesn't weigh out.
It does,
The
but you already said it.
benefits,
You
the
already proved my
benefits.
argument for me. You already proved it. You ready for this? You
How so?
said
how
you
Yeah,
so?
yeah,
said
go
that
ahead.
we're social creatures. You said this, that we're social.
Absolutely.
So I need to
Yes,
be
yes.
worried about what everyone in that social circle thinks of me. I'm sorry, you do. You can't say we're social and then say being social doesn't matter. No, if whatever
But
your position is, you got to be aware of it and you got to maintain it. And you can say, well, you're not being true to
have to be
yourself,
aware.
but we're social.
But no.
But
But okay.
in every one of
You
us
know,
is so every one of us is capable of being a leader. Do you agree or not?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So in a sense, each of us is a leader in
Yeah.
each direction that we're going. I'm a leader in the direction that I'm going. You're a leader in the direction you're going.
I
Leader's a
thought
leader
you
in
meant like leader of other people. That's what I mean. Like, I mean, but I feel
yeah,
what
but
you're
in a
getting at.
sense, by doing this podcast, we're also leading people uh, with knowledge and enriching their lives and in a sense create a following in that sense.
yeah.
I have my vision, you have your vision. Some people will side with you, some people will side with me, some people will side with Lito.
By
And in
the
that
way,
sense, yeah.
we should be engaging with people actually. So during this discussion, if you agree more with Ed, me, or Nagayan, say so. Have your comments, say anything. Um, for those who are out there and have something to say, reach out to us too. We're gonna be attaching our social media. Eventually, we want to go live and live stream like interaction with people. Um, so eventually, it'll happen eventually. I'm sorry for doing that, but
No
I
problem.
think we haven't done enough of that. So I just
You got to work
squeezed
on
it.
that. You got to work on that. Just,
It's the
I
first
mean,
time,
yeah,
bro.
that's a,
Do it better. Do it better. Let me see you do better.
I can't do it. But that's not me.
that's not
Then
it's the
sit
time.
down and cry,
But
man.
indeed, it's a good thing that you yeah actually accoladed that in.
I
If that,
will learn, Ed. I will adjust. I will evolve, regardless of what.
but in a
All right.
sense, okay, we are each our own leaders in our the paths that we're going, and with it, we are creating a fellowship, a following, or how you want to call it. In that sense, we indeed are social creatures, but we have to stay strong. And if I cry right now in front of the camera, like, oh shit, man, something really hit me, or I feel like a certain way, I feel like crying. For me, it wouldn't degrade me as a person to actually cry. I think it would enrich me and enrich my following, to put it at the least, to actually admire me for the actually being a whole person, like having the
Ed,
feminine
you
and
should
the
try
masculine,
it, man.
being the yin and the yang, being able to be in touch with my emotions, but also being able to let them go and just go on with life. Put it like that.
And I think it's a very 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 how can I explain this? Big
Pathetic.
mistake. It's a mistake to just feed into one side of your personality. Okay, I think it's dangerous to also just feed into one side of your emotions.
No, what I'm saying,
Uh,
like for a man, especially if you're a man that's in a leadership role, to appear to be strong,
I
you have to
hmm
like. I mean, there's a reason why you would do that. And you can say,
I
okay,
guess
it might
depend.
not be good for you as an
But this
individual, but that's what you got to do. You know, hey, sorry.
but this
You know
this
what?
sounds like very logical indeed, way of putting it, and reason that there's a lot of reasoning behind it, which can actually
And
yeah, has a lot of arguments behind it,
yeah, and
which
emotion, like I said, it's not just crying. Emotion could be blowing up on somebody. And like I remember,
Absolutely.
I was walking down the street, and this guy was right in front of me, and the store owner had a little pit bull, and the pit bull started barking at the guy, and the guy flips out, yo, you get that dog back in it, just started going crazy. I'm like, what in the world? This guy's flipping out because the dog barked at him. Just started going crazy. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about in emotion. To see men behaving like that over the slightest offense, like
Yeah, yeah.
that's emotion too. You gotta keep that in check. You can't do that. And another thing, when women blow up like that, they can get away with it. As a man, you can't be doing that. You
I think that's changing. I think that perception is
no,
changing
it
where
can't
women.
change. It can never change because the man is actually dangerous. The woman, not so much. This ain't a sexist thing. The man can actually do
it is
damage.
because
I'm
you
sorry,
have
it just is
dangerous
what it is.
women out there as well. You have a muscular woman than men
Okay. I
at
don't
times.
see I don't see too many of those walking around here. But
No.
most women, it's like
Well,
it's just they're just loudmouths. It's like okay, she's talking, but what's she gonna do? But when a dude's doing that, it's different. And I understand. I mean, this is just general, but a man is more dangerous than
yeah.
a woman.
In order for something to
I
affect
disagree
you
with
emotionally, it, I don't have to be a threat. To be honest with you, I just gotta say the right thing. Okay,
Like I'm gonna tell
and
you
that right
this.
there.
Like if I
and when
just
you're getting
sing,
older, it's not even a strength thing. It's a mental thing. This mental battle that's going on. I mean,
Absolutely. Yeah.
if you say something witty, I say something witty back. Can you say something witty back to me? And that's the battle that's actually going on.
yeah,
Is yeah, who's right? It's not about being right, but it's about
And, and you of all people, Ed,
yeah.
should understand that because you said you care so much about people's perception, and right there, if I call you out in front of everybody, wouldn't that affect your ego?
why in the camera.
No, like no, it wouldn't affect me. Like, cause I could always come back and defend myself. I wouldn't mind. I mean, you could try. I mean, I'm like, all right.
Not me per se, because I just don't have no
I mean,
interest.
like I said, I don't care if anybody calls me out. I mean, it's all fair game. And I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about any time. Like if I'm at work, right, and somebody challenges me, I'm like, okay, cool, you can do that. It's probably not going to work out for you. I mean, I'm all right. I mean, and if you get me, you get me. So if my
And
guys try and challenge me, I usually put them in their place if I have to. I don't mind. I mean, you can do that.
but the problem is that your day-to-day interaction is with people who are not all there,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
unfortunately.
Um,
That you
so you know, I, I I was gonna go a little farther with that, but we're gonna leave that alone. Um, I think mental health decretion or like falling like emotionally, that's for everyone. It doesn't have a sex or a anything like that. Okay.
I think there's a
I
difference
actually
between men and women, but okay. I mean,
I think our approach, because of culture, and when I say culture, I'm not talking about like race or anything like that, but by culture, like am I using the right thing? Like men have a different culture than women. Yeah,
no,
we are
that you
protectors.
are using the wrong thing
What you call it? Help me out then. You're the one that speaks English, or
there. No, culture is like Dominican Republic.
I
That's one culture.
I know
American,
like how we are
you know,
raised, right?
like Netherlands. That's a different culture. You know, Like that
Yeah,
wouldn't be
yeah.
like male or female. It'd be like I don't know what you would call it, but just
I don't know
um
what to call that either,
a
but
nature, a female
Yeah.
nature
no, it's
of a
not
male nature.
nature. No, no, no. It's not a nature
No,
because
it actually
I think
okay. Go ahead.
this is learned behavior. But of course, this is my opinion.
That's your opinion. That is learned. Okay.
When you grow up and you crying for everything, you being a boy, your dad tells you, "Hey, you're a boy. You don't be crying over everything, or you don't be throwing a fit over everything." It's like a learning, teaching behavior. Okay, it's something that we pass down and pass
Okay.
down, not in each and every sense, of course, but mainly this is what we see throughout times. And I still see it today. Okay, we force our kids to be stronger and this and that, but you don't know that having a good grip on your emotion is what makes you actually stronger mentally. Prepare them mentally to deal with things, equations, I don't mean equations as like mathematical equations, but like different things that life throws at you and how to cope and deal with it, because it's a real thing. If you just teach me how to be tough, then I'm not gonna know how to act when something affects me emotionally.
Yeah. It in a sense it has to do with the saying, give a man a fish, and yeah, he will be good for a day, or teach a man how to fish, and he will be
Yeah,
good for life.
yeah, and that's the other thing. Like depression, you're gonna let depression set in because somebody like won a mental battle or emotional battle and made your emotions get worked up. So then I just won because you don't have emotional intelligence. So I see your point as well, Ed. I understand, but seeing something like this from one perspective is very incomplete. At least it feels incomplete to me. I think I understand because I felt that before. I have to defend my people. I gotta carry my people. I gotta do this and solve the issues so they don't have to face this thing. Like I see myself over and over again taking over people's pain and like issues and stuff like that. But that's only because I believe that I have a little more emotional intelligence than some others. Um, I believe I understand myself, and when I feel I have to cry, if I have to do it, I'll just do it. Not every time. Like sometimes I'm like, yo, okay, yeah, get yourself
I can
together.
deal
Like,
with this. I can deal with this, or
yeah, yeah, yeah,
this can come later, or
yeah. But actually, so like I said earlier, crying, and this is like a sort of a transition to the next topic, but they both get together, go together, right? Crying is like basically self-medicating yourself. And us as human beings, I believe that we are constantly looking for answers and solutions to everything, okay? Not just what we can see, but what we can feel as well, right? So when we do like drugs or anything like that, a lot of times we do drugs to reach that little place of happiness. You understand? When we
but
cry, we do the same.
before you go there, it's the same with exercise. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
the
absolutely. Oh,
serotonin get released
but
because of
that's what I'm saying.
dancing and being active, and there's more ways to roam than one. That to put it like
A-
that.
Absolutely. And that's a beautiful thing when you find what your thing is. I haven't found mine. I have not found mine. I thought it was drawing, and then I stopped drawing. Um, you know, I don't know. Even you know what? My dad told me drawing was stupid.
Uh,
Yeah, and I stopped drawing.
you're
Well,
not gonna make any money with that.
yeah, you're not gonna make any money with that. It's stupid.
Well, that's exactly what he told me actually.
Yeah, I
But
remember you told me. I think. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Uh,
this guy was
so
making cars, like drawing cars. I was like, what the fuck? That's some nice ass concept shit. But all of a sudden, he stopped doing that. Just
Yeah. Because my dad wanted me to play baseball, man, get the
Ah,
millions, and
yeah,
I
that's
hated baseball.
yeah.
Hated it with passion, man.
West,
Whatever.
we're digressing.
But 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 there you go. That's another behavior that's learned. Okay, we learn by culture in Dominican Republic that being you know baseball player athlete was a way out. Okay, because there was always scouters. Scouters is what you call them.
Scout,
Yeah.
scout. Yeah.
So yeah. So it used to help me with my feelings when I drew something and stuff like that. So I stopped. But I don't know what makes me happy today.
Well,
And it can change over time.
thought you had
Yeah,
carpentry when you
absolutely.
were doing that, weren't you? Woodworking and stuff.
I was doing woodwork and I was actually getting decent at it, right? But then they got into they broke my window of my garage and
Me
that brought
too.
me down when they stole my stuff, man. Because I
They
work
stole
hard for my
your
stuff.
tools.
They stole a toolbox with some stuff and a saw and a compressor I had with all like painting, like spray painting equipment and stuff like that. And all of that is expensive, so I never got back on it. They left my table saw because it's freaking heavy as shit, man. It's super heavy. Um, but yeah, I had a whole bunch of stuff. But I'm guessing it was a like crackhead because for you to squeeze yourself through a freaking window, like a little space, and like something is up with you.
I don't know about these people, man. I never. That's one thing never happened to me, man. I never got something like stolen. Like it just never. I always. No, my
But
car. My car got broken into years ago.
I think I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, yeah, that was it relaxes me. And for a long time, I thought it brought me like closer to God because I heard Jesus was a carpenter. So I'm over here thinking like, yo, Jesus used to do this.
Why don't
I'm
you
like, yo,
get back into drawing, man? That'll be a thing. Get back into drawing.
oh well, I am. I've been drawing. I went to the hobbyist store the other day. Spent like freaking in total like $100. I spent like $75 first, and then I went back and got a few stuff
What you
like
get? Some paper,
alcohol.
some tip? Oh, you gonna paint? That's what it is.
No. I got some alcohol markers, and
Yeah.
then these neon markers. Also these. Oh, I'm sure you've seen these. No, these are alcohol markers, and
Okay.
what happens is when you draw with them, they don't run into the different colors. That's pretty much it.
Nice.
They expensive, but
No one draws like that. Why don't you draw digital, man? Like, what are you doing over there?
I don't know how to do that, man. I was really good at drawing before, so I wanted to see if I can get my skill back up though. Also, I see people like drawing with
Yeah, sketch boards like
yeah,
notepads.
so
How do you
if I
call it?
get good at drawing regular, why can I not do that? But enough of being sidetracked, man.
What you guys? You exhausted this one?
How
Is this we done here
um
with this topic, you
Nagayan?
guys?
I think in regards to depression, I think we covered what we think it is and what we yeah what we think also as what has helped us in being less depressed and getting out of it. So being active and stuff like that.
But
So
being active is not just the thing. Whatever it is that makes you
we
happy,
used to,
you
yeah,
gotta give yourself time to have time for yourself. Of course.
time to have
I
time for this. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, especially here in the U.S., by culture, is a busy life. Okay, and usually by the time you have time, you want to party or you just want to like go all out. Not always the best choice, and it's not for everybody. Okay, but there's time for everything. You just gotta do sections of it at a time. And yeah, find your thing. Okay, some people is cooking. For some other people is just creating. And when I say creating, that's open to whatever you can come up with. Okay, no idea is a stupid idea. It's what it does for you, and you never know. Okay, because a lot of things, art is by perception. You know what I mean? And it's so wide. Um, and when somebody sees what you do, let's say you work out and somebody say, "Hey, you look good," and that's your thing, then it makes you feel good. It lifts you up, regardless of what, right? If you made something or if you drew something, sometimes it takes the right person to appreciate what you have done or created, but there's always somebody. So never time wasted. Do whatever you like.
Yeah,
Of course, like I said, always give yourself time to have time for yourself. And it works. I mean, I know it sounds weird and it's got to be a somebody must have said it in a better way than me, of course, but I just hope people understand where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to put out there.
we got you.
Um,
I
yeah.
got you. Yeah, I got you. And yeah, well, that's a wrap.